Yeah.
Yeah, okay. See, Jasmine is only intimidating. You write her off as non-intimidating, and then you're put into your position. But talking about people in position, we've got 10 players on stage. We've got 10 players in the server. We've got 6 players alive in the knife round.
Maybe they've already like selected sides or something. Quins has just not got the memo.
Yeah, this is for sure going to be restart, folks. Don't get your hopes up. It's not a pack suicide.
I was about to say, this is quite a bias knife round. I like it, though, because it's biased towards the Brits. As am I.
Who do we have on the British side? We got Pickles?
Yep.
Vanity? Or is it B-Boyer? Yeah, it'd be Vanity. Vanity, Pickles. Aspacer Dig. Truth and Aussie. Now let's get the real knife round underway. Once we reset it, hopefully we won't have a bunch of people committing suicide. It's never a cheery way to start a game.
Yeah, the team is a little bit more like mixed though. Three Brits. Got Quicks. I think is it? Yeah, Truth. Norwegian. Was that knife round done? Are we good now? Are we going in? Yeah, we're into the pistol.
That counts. Okay, all right. Here's the pistol, folks. We're ready to go. We've got a CT dead. Oh my goodness. We actually have a game ahead of us. Got an A-set, eyesight ahead of the push as well.
T-side, they've got themselves a lurker. Actually, Aussie is about to meet probably his doom. It takes a little bit too long, but eventually the T's still take their man advantage. Truth ready and waiting, but again, the T's just coming out on top, leaving only one man onto the side itself. That will be Quicks. Rotation is already coming in from Vanity as well, but he is left to fall, and well, it is all left onto him. Has himself the kit, so has a little bit of extra time and a solitary flashbang to try and pop himself back into the site, but chances are the T should have this covered. Quins will be able to trade, and it's the Danes of Ambush Gaming to get themselves off to a strong start.
Solid stuff, solid stuff. It's always weird, actually, in my mind, to find ourselves when it comes to BO1s on Overpass. The beauty of Best of One, of course, is that you tend to find yourself in that middle ground of both teams' map pools. And what is in the middle ground of most lineups? You're looking at the Cache, you're looking at Mirage, or you're looking at maybe Inferno. Overpass is not a simple map. And so both these teams need to be well-versed if, of course, they want themselves an easy game ahead. Solid stuff for the terrorists to pick up, of course, the pistol. It can be difficult to break through CT sides. It can also be difficult to hold CT sides on Overpass. It really does depend on how well prepared and how comfortable you are on the map. But already we see Truth being taken down in Connector. His teammate tries to trade him out, but that's not going to happen. Molotov and the AK successful in dispatching the CTs pushed up close. And look at the rest of the defense. It is split between the bomb sites. The terrorists took a very passive stance other than in Connector. They wanted to make first contact, and they got a huge advantage in doing so. 3 frags, to be precise. Now, what's the best play? You group yourselves together, you leave one player to watch for that Connector flank, and you just go storm the A-bomb site.
Yeah, it can be very difficult for Vexed to get anything done in this situation. Multiple players pushing onto Vanity. He does manage to buy a little bit of extra time to take his shots, but only manages the dink, and it's left all onto Pickles, trying to rotate back in. Does a lot of damage, same as his teammate, knocking one down to just 9 HP, but realistically, may just want to try and hold on to the CZ and armor, get himself a little bit extra if he can take one of these players with him, but it would only be if he can actually retrieve a weapon, because other than that, you only get such a small kill reward for a CZ kill that just isn't really worth it in the end. So it is going to be 2-0 to Ambush Esports, and well, they don't lose a single player in this round, so a huge bolster to their economy already, and in the next one, there's going to be nothing invested for Vexed.
Yeah, that's the scary part, right? Is you get another opportunity to bank some cash off of these SMGs. It's nice that despite the incredibly low health, both those players make their way through the round. It's going to give them a prime opportunity to farm up some funds moving forward. And if you can have a strong economy on the early 5 rounds of Overpass T-side, then who knows what is in store. Again, that is one of the beauty of Copenhagen games. You get teams that are lesser known and teams that don't necessarily get the chance to play against one another. But I like the stack. Got 5 CTs all trying to push in towards Fountain. We have watched Ambush play a really passive setup as of late, just kind of putting their numbers back, and this time it's going to cost them. Only one man on Playground instantly loses his life. In the meantime, Ambush take the B site, but now they need to move that bomb over.
Yeah, they're actually going to hand that AK over to Pickles as well, so he won't have himself as much of a problem. Get the Kevlar behind it. You're going to see a nice little spray down and a chance to build up a little bit of extra cash. CT side don't really have too much of a reason to try and push back in towards this B site, as not really worth it. And actually, they lose that AK at least for a second. I do wonder if they're just going to try and fall back and hold on to that, bring it into the next round. Obviously, the first round buy, you don't normally have too much in terms of finances. There's going to be limitations to what you can actually purchase, be it whether you have to maybe go down to a UMP just to make sure you have extra utility, or even like losing a kit or some smokes or something along the way. So saving an AK, even saving the UMP, could give a nice little bonus over to Vex. But ultimately, Ambush, they'll keep themselves a couple of the rifles, and we're likely to see a bit more of a bonus round going into the next round.
Quicks can't clear the corner. That is Quicks, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's up with you Brits and changing?
He's not British.
He's not?
Nope.
All right. Well, it's got the flag, Tom. That's all that matters. Called me out already. I'll forgive you. But what is not forgiving is this current buy-up from Vexed. Obviously, if they don't win this round, they have hard times ahead. It is the 5 rifles in their hands. Nobody's going to be able to counter the op of RTA. Quick Molotov and a fast execution right into the B site. They do line up for Pickles, but he's only able to take down 1. Deals half the damage onto Latino. Now the rest of the CT's coming to retake in from behind. It's right now 2 players Monster and 2 players over on short. But the utility was not used on the execution, which means great grenades in the after plant helps out Ambush as they can.
Decent position from Yoma, though, already going to be picking up 2. The monster push completely fails from the CT side, and well, Vanity and Truth. That almost sounds like that could be like a band, or like a nice little duo. We've got Vanity and Truth. They are just going to be looking to try and hold on to their weapons. It's actually RTA, I didn't even realize. I always, when you have like sponsors in your name, that always throws me off.
Yep.
It's going to be 4-0. Danish side starting off very strong indeed. And while the CTs, they managed to keep themselves a couple of weapons. And they did have a little bit of extra cash based off of that AK being saved. So I wonder if there is actually the potential here to buy once again.
Oh, get denied. I mean, the way he rides the wall back in for the second shot, so smooth. And there, of course, is the purchase. It's actually a solid buy. We're talking 4 M4s, FAMAS, full grenades, 3 kits. Not too many helmets, but that shouldn't matter all too much unless Sommer's able to get himself an easy pluck. But I like that Vex, despite being down 4-0, they're not trying to shy away from this aggressive A stance. I think it's very important as a counter-terrorist team on Overpass to play aggressively on A site. You don't want to give away map control. But then again, I mean, how many times now have we watched the boys on Ambush play passively back towards the party zone? And I mean, it works. They're able to get themselves 2 picks there quickly, but now elsewhere on the map they have fallen. There's only Sommer 1v2, and these CTs are split here. Overpass is the kind of map where you can get lost, and you can lose track of so much information. Look at this. Sommer should be able to walk straight into the A site, no contest. And then he gets the after plant on his terms.
This is, well, unfortunately for the CT side, they'll find all the information eventually and realize that they should be able to just take this together. I think that could actually work out being a little bit better for them. But it means that no matter what happens here, the T's have pretty much got a guaranteed bomb plant over onto this A site. And they can also set up for a decent after plant position as well. So, Sommer, with a good opportunity, he has to be careful because there is actually a man towards the toilets who could just look to try and deny the plant. Not going to happen. Quicks, not quite quick enough. And actually, This could be a long rotation back from somewhere like this, although straight away, Quick's just going to grab onto that defuse. I don't think there's anything that can be done for the T, just running all the way back around, bomb defused. And will they even take him down afterwards? No, he actually manages to get rid of Quick, so going to make things very costly indeed. Vexed only having one man staying alive, and they'll be going into the next round with the chance of the reset. And of course, the T side, they've been doing quite well in managing their economy, so they're going to have enough money to buy back comfortably.
That was a sweet play. I'm all for it, Quicks. I mean, he recognizes with the afterplant and the way that the terrorists left the bomb site what was going on. You don't want to play there from long because you got no cover whatsoever. The only sensible decision is for him to move in through bathrooms. Very, very well done on the defuse. Denies any chance at a clutch. But again, Ambush, they are just playing so conservatively up towards Fountain. Again, this time with 3 players just patiently waiting for the CTs to overextend, to push on forwards. And they have been aggressive. But if the counter-terrorists realize that there is no real issue other than this kind of late eventual creep, then they are going to start playing things like this. We've got the stack over here towards long. They could throw in a variation and go for a bathroom stack in a later round. Don't expect the CTs to be fighting for connector, pushing up towards party in these next couple of rounds, I'd argue. Especially not when a reset's on the line.
Pressure definitely on. Or Vexed. Truth actually going to be boosted up, and they'll expect this angle. They don't. That'll be the first pick going the way. I like that from the CT side. You don't normally see like a boost in that situation just because you can get up there yourself. So normally much easier to just do that, but they managed to find themselves a kill. Hooksy trying to trade things back, but instead meets his doom at the hand of Pickles. Now the T side down to just 3 players. Now there's next to no utility left for Vexed. So in terms of stopping power, there's not much, but there's not much time either. Only 20 seconds left on the clock, so the Ts are just going to have to go barreling in towards this site, needing to find a pick realistically. And the peek out from Pickles is quite a risky one, but he's got Ozzy to support him. Pickles burning down to just 7 HP, but they have to go for this plant now. RTA will at least net them a little bit of extra cash, and I believe that will be enough money to buy into the next round, but Vex do manage to at least keep themselves going for now with a second on the board, and they keep 4 players alive, more importantly.
Yeah, that is definitely important. I mean, especially the way Pickles barely got away with his life. I do like that he kind of took that aggressive stance towards water. He wanted to keep his eyes up on short. He wanted to keep those players back and then disengage from the gunfight. I mean, being spammed through the edge of the wall there nearly prevented him from escape, but he managed. And the CTs now managed to come in with, again, a strong buy here. You can see that all of the successful first rounds of Ambush have been cut away. The cash they had, the splendors of war have all been invested here, but it looks like a fast B split. They're going to go straight in through connector, no contest whatsoever. CT's scrambling back towards the A site, and Aussie now is split in from 2 directions, so it makes sense that they are able to take them all down. Quinn's, even with the 3rd kill, leaves just those A site rotators to come downwards, and they're both going to push up towards Graffiti. Could see a boost, we do. That's going to give a chance for Quicks, but he's instantly deleted. It's RTA to knock him down. And a 1v3 for Truth. He just wants that op. He wants to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and already this will be a bit of a troublesome time for Vex, as although they keep 4 players alive, it's pretty damn expensive to buy back into this CT side. Obviously getting all the kits, the utility, and, well, they've just been ripped apart by what was such an aggressive play. And Hooksy with 2 entry kills onto that B side. Definitely not an easy thing to do, especially with the amount of utility that was there for Vexed in that round. Either way, Danes are going to get themselves a 5th round already on the T side. I do, however, wonder, though, if we may see a little bit more from Vexed actually on the T side itself, because I feel like in terms of just like UK teams in general, I'm not sure Overpass is one that they're particularly going to want to be coming in on, especially on the CT side. We see a lot more sort of looser styles. We're looking more towards the sort of Mirage picks that always seem to come in the UK, so we'll see. Maybe on the T side we can get a little bit more. They will be buying into this one, so they've got enough cash just about, but you can already see the Danish side, they're in with a strong chance to send their money packing already.
Ooh, not the duel you want to lose. The sole operative Quicks on long, shut down by RTA. Now I expect Ambush to just group themselves together and play the trade game. You've already got the man advantage. You know these CTs are more than likely going to reel their way back in. But I actually like that we then see Vex go aggressive. I mean, look at this. They've got the short control outside the B site. That's a fast flank. If these Ts don't clear out any space towards the B site, then very quickly they can come in from behind. That sucks, though. Truth getting deleted instantly puts Vanity in another curious position, but the Terrorists are so thorough in cleaning corners. Another one from La Latina Bomba. Solid stuff from him. Here comes that flank we talked about, and they are able to ambush Sommer inside of Connector, but at this point you've lost the bomb site, and RTA is in a very good position to just sideswipe you from behind.
It almost seems like too little too late. They need a fast kill back in, and it's just not going to happen. Aussie, well, even whiffing the spray towards the end of that round, and Ambush, they've got their sick, they've got their reset, and now Vexed, they are in real trouble over on that CT side. Yeah, that was definitely their round to win, or the round they needed to win in order to dodge this scenario. Yeah, pistols aplenty. Now, I mean, even though they were in a 4 versus 5 for a situation there, they definitely had some footing in the round. You saw, again, that 2-man fast flank could have come into fruition had the players closer to the A site actually been able to hold, but Ambush just so smooth, walking forward, checking every single corner, not wanting to fall victim to those aggressive off angles. And sure enough, 2 instant headshots, CTs deleted, and as we said, the flank just too little too late. Basically, you can't ambush is what you're trying to say.
Hey, ho. That's a good one, Tom.
Really wasn't. If it makes you angry, you could say that you're vexed. There you go.
That was a good one.
Carried out with 2.
Oh, all right. Even in this round, I mean, this is another prime example, right? Ambush just so slow and methodical on their A site pushes. They wait a good 30 seconds before to see if any CTs come inwards. And once they realize all this map control's for free, they just conga line to the bomb site.
Yeah, pretty much. Well, you can expect something like this from the CT side. You've got Quicks just spotting over on that A site, just hoping that realistically he wants them to go B. But the second he sees anything, the team should just be running straight back towards the site. The problem is the T's are already so close by the time that he actually spots them out that they'll throw all the Molotovs, they'll get the bomb plant, and realistically they should just fall back. Just hold on to those AKs. No real reason to take any fights here other than to just pad your land stats.
Stats are nice though. Right now we're watching the T's increase theirs tenfold. Last man's gonna be Vanity. And
5-fold.
Yeah, you got me, Tom. That's math. Here's the rebuy, though. We hadn't seen Vex get too convinced to fall off. They haven't been playing scared. But obviously at a 7-2 deficit, you're going to have to start ensuring you win some rounds. So the likelihood of them taking risks, you'd think, would be decreased. They opt to go for a heavier B-site defense. Quicks instantly goes into Connector, drops a smoke towards Party, falls closer towards the bathrooms. Now he's not getting out of here, and he doesn't even get a kill with him. You need 1 or 2, because now these T's are just going to parade their way forward straight into the A site.
Truth will be on site ready and waiting. Does manage to drop the bomb, which should give them a little bit more time, and a second kill alongside one from Vanity. Actually gives them the bomb on the site with 3 players currently sitting back waiting. It'll be down to RTA and Sommer to try not only retrieve the bomb, but get it down as well. Is going to be very difficult indeed. They've still got plenty of time to play with, so at least the clock's on their side. But the fact is, this should be quite a powerful crossfire. Actually, Pickle's going to be going aggressive. This is so risky, somewhat unnecessary, but the CTs are just going to take these fights, and well, luckily for them, Truth is going to win that end duel, but that's way too close for comfort, and that is a risky play to take.
Yeah, that's scary. I mean, it's almost like we see Ambush expect that. They go for the 2-man boost up. This is a very strong position from Truth. Note the shadows on the ground. Every engagement he gets here, he sees the shadow coming in first, and that split-second bit of information is enough for him to win those duels. That's why you really need to clear that corner with either a Molotov or make sure that you're going in with the flash, because the counter-terrorist has the advantage in the duel 10 times out of 10.
T's, of course, will still have a buyback in, and they're once again in this situation where only 1 man survived in the last round. They need some heroics here on the CT side, and Unfortunately, it's not happening. The Danes have just pushed straight up towards this A site. Again, after losing a round, they throw in a faster play, and Vex just don't seem to be able to counter this. They know how limited the utility is going to be. And, well, the Danish side are just completely exploiting the Brits, leaving Pickles, well, to try and do something ludicrous. Runs through the smoke once again. Vexed are going to be reset. And this CT side has been pretty abysmal so far.
Yeah, seeing as this is a best of 3, and not having known the veto process coming into this, I have a very strong feeling that this is Ambush's map pick. I could be wrong. I could very well be wrong, but I would be shocked. I mean, the way that Ambush are playing this so clinically, so slowly in both their anti-eco and gun rounds, and then their ability to just change up the pace, it's like everybody's on the same page. When their in-game leader is calling a fast execution, everybody knows what to do. The grenades are already set. They're ready to rock and roll. And the way that Vex don't really have a response leads me to believe they're not necessarily all too well versed. Here on overpass. Again, like this setup from Ambush, this is just their go-to, the bread and butter.
Yeah, just patience, really. And the fact is, a lot of the time, the CT side are coming to meet them. They've been caught out. I think they've lost the opening pick like almost every single round. It just seems to be that them pushing in towards middle has not worked at all. And it's such a valuable sort of fight to take. We see the more aggressive AWPers push in that direction the majority of the time and just try and take those individual jewels, and it seems like Vex want to do that, but after being shut down early on and never really having the money to sort of continue to throw those aggressive like flashbangs and go for the peaks with an AWP that they've only had once, it's leaving them not much to play with, and we can see the epitome of that right now with pistols alongside the AK they've managed to pick up. Luxie has to be careful rounding the corner though, and Truth actually a bit further back, but that AK has managed to double down. Maybe this will be the round that they'll steal away around to breathe life into Vexed. Twins already though starts to turn things back, but luckily for them, there is a man on the flank. Pickles with a couple of kills, a 4th round for Vexed, at least on the CT side, and one that they definitely shouldn't have had.
No, definitely not, but it takes an individual heroic to make that happen, of course. Truth above and beyond. Allowed to succeed thanks to his teammates' support up close with the CZ. Creates the distraction. A little misdirection. Sleight of hand. And the outcome. A 4th round of the board. Obviously, Vex now with the AWP, something that they haven't been able to afford, will get aggressive up in the A site, but it is going to be the fast clash on B. Frags, flashbangs, it's all here and now, and Aussie gets the backside of 2. He does himself get 1 frag, and it's Vanity who's able to retreat ever so slightly. However, it is Ambush to come out on top with a man advantage and the bomb plant near secured. They just have to actually punch in the digits, but they're wary of this short control because they don't have any of it. They've got Monster in their coffers. Got a Molotov on the site. Spreads at the feet of the planter, the Latino Bomba. Still committed inwards. Truth waiting for an angle down. And Quix would love to pluck a man off the bomb site. He would like to like this even keel, but it's not that easy. Distraction tries from heaven, and it's just not enough. Quix now CZ up close, gets himself the first as Latino creeps away. Smoke on the bomb, 15 health for him. It's just not enough. And just as we had said before, it's the changing of the pace that definitely takes the CTs off guard. They win a round, and then Ambush come out of nowhere with incredible pacing.
But yeah, and it seems like, I do wonder if there's any point to actually do these slower rounds, because it's not even like they're being unpredictable anymore by throwing in these fast rounds just every time they lose one. It's just almost like they lose one, then they go, okay, let's do it quickly, and Vex just haven't seemed to counter that at all. They've been caught out almost every single time. Well, I'm pretty sure every single time. And once again, they're going to be back to pistols once again. They managed it in the last round. However, it's unlikely that they'll be able to pull off the same sort of heroics a second time. A lot of that came down to sort of a late monster push from Ambush, who, although have been very methodical so far, I doubt they'll be looking to get caught like that once again. The way already Quins will be finding that opener. No AK thrown into the hands of Truth early like in the previous. And you can see they're still just waiting patiently, expecting now much more of a reaction from the CT side.
They will get a reaction in the form of a long push. deleted yet again. I mean, I think Vexed are unfortunately kind of being pushed into this situation where if they hold back on the bomb sites and play patiently, then Ambush have such great executions with utility that they always tend to take sites. And then you're just at a huge disadvantage on the retake. And then, so Vexed, as opposed to trying to, oh my, Dirty Deagles,
okay.
There's the third, okay. A little truth serum. But RTA's now gonna have to clutch this out. 1 versus 2. This is all truth. Another round where individual heroics have actually created a situation, but he's got the bomb in 20 seconds and 2 players to find.
So little time on the clock, and Pickles just has the utterly perfect position, but actually the bomb should be able to go down or just about avoids that Deagle shot. That'll be a little bit of bonus money, but there, of course, is Quicks to close it out. And oh, they say you want the truth, Connor, but I don't think you can handle it.
No, definitely not. Ambush can't. Oh man, picked to pieces as they work their way through bathrooms. The point I was going to try to make was that when they're forced to go into these individual plays, they weren't able to win them. But now, Truth just blindsides 2 Ts. Guns down the third, who goes leaping into the washrooms.
I don't know about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jumping into the angle. And yeah, actually the T's, well, that bomb plan actually helps them out quite a bit. Their money not in the best of states considering the backwards and forwards rounds we've just witnessed. And I think it's the first time in a while Vexed have actually come in with a better buy than their opponent. So we'll see if that can actually help them out. AWP into the hands of Quicks, who... has he even got a kill with the AWP yet?
Maybe once.
I can't think of one. Maybe he did, but it really hasn't been a hugely impactful weapon. Hasn't had it many times, granted, but
yep.
Especially when it comes to sort of dominating that mid position, you kind of hope that he would be able to find those frags. T's mostly gathered up over towards that monster spot. Ozzy will be playing the closer angle this time, and a later smoke will hold the T's back just that little bit longer, but it does look like they're going to try to explode on towards this B site once again. It has been a decent avenue of attack, but you can see the CT side, they've already got 3 men here.
Ozzy getting rid of those grenades now as he hits the 50-second mark. Is doing a good time of burning off the clock. Pickles spots the man as he crosses upwards. And now this is going to be the trigger pull. Ambush looking to hit up the B site. CT's nearly rotating downwards, but Latino gets himself a hell of a headshot. Vanity on the pillars, not even good for 1. And it's Pickles in the water, instantly deleted. The defense holds nothing here. And while they do deal the damage, that's all they've got done. It's left on 1. Quicks with the op. CZ currently in hand as the smoke will fade at his feet. It's the 15th round, so you're going to go for it, but a 1 versus 5 clutch not looking likely. 10 rounds to the T side in a beautiful form of overpass.
Yeah, 10 rounds is more than enough, or more than you would expect. The only thing I'm going to be interested to see is like how good Ambush themselves are on the CT side, because it's not an easy CT side to play.
No.
Like, it's a map that's so important about information and making sure those rotations are held properly, like getting onto that B side, because if you leave either site into a retake scenario, it's so very difficult. Like the B site getting into the site is very, very difficult, whereas the A site, the polar opposite, getting in is normally fairly easy. It's just the fact that the T's fall all the way off and have that ridiculous bomb plant all the way back. So I think the way to look at overpass is not so much like, okay, how can you do over on that T side, like getting a lot of T rounds. The more interesting thing is to see, okay, is there a strong CT side? Because if not, there's definitely a chance the Vex could try and turn this round over on the T side.
And I think Ambush played a very clinical T side in the sense that they played with the timing so incredibly well. We'd have rounds where they just nearly, strangled Vex to death with just sheer patience, and then an immediate turnaround and they just go charging into the bomb site. Like, they were in full control of the tempo on the T side, and now they have to deal with whatever is thrown their way. It is out of their hands. Vex taking control short already. CT is allowing for this retake to occur. They want to go for the retake. They give up the bomb site, and the terrorists want to push up into Graffiti, but they're losing bodies. It's a 4 versus 2 as Quicks falls back. He's got the smoke on site with Pickles by his side. They're looking for gunfights, and they've got the flashbangs to make this work. But now all the CTs get into position and they immediately start pushing forward. Nothing else is had, and Ambush win out on the pistol.
Such an important pistol at that, because Obviously, a 10-5 half, pistol goes the other way, and the T's are pretty much right back in the game with only 2 rounds of difference and the sort of economy back on their side. So the Danes bringing that in over on their CT side. A nice retake as well, clearly set up for it, allowing the B site to be taken. And while now the T's, they're just going to wait. It's somewhat expected. Barely anything invested, in fact. They're going to make sure they have a decent amount of utility going into the next round. And the main aim here, maybe take a weapon or 2 and get yourselves a bomb plant. That would be utterly perfect. It's very, very unlikely when you look at the buy. 4 rifles in. CT side know what's coming in the next. And even if it was a force buy here from Vexed, it's worth making sure that you have those extra rifles. Just going to try and barrel in, and well, it's not worked at all. The one man of Quick's a little bit late to the party. He will meet up with his teammates in the grave, and that is going to be 12-5 already. Such a strong start to this second half, and I think Vexed are going to be worried.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they are going to get that buy-in. Got the AKs in the 3rd round from them. But, I don't know. I just don't feel like they are as well prepared on overpass from what we've seen with Ambush. They've got setups. I mean, look at that way they drew all those T's in the previous round. Nice little corner play. Second map for those curious, of course, is Train. And then we'll head to Inferno if a decider is needed. Right now, let's focus on overpass, because that's what we have ahead. 12-5 the score, 7-point difference. Already, we see Vexed expending utility towards this B site. Flashbang from Hooksy is in hand, but he loses his teammate over the shoulder. Bit of an aggressive stance, and here come Vexed. 3 fast frags for them. They still got 2 CTs to deal with, but counter-terrorists that are nowhere to be found. The bomb plant, the kills, it all belongs to Vexed.
Yeah, and a fairly basic take as well, just running straight through that monster spot and finding the openers. And as a sort of first round or first buy round from them, that is a great way to kick things off. Nobody going down, at least as of yet, unless they go on the hunt. And, well, the CT side is still going to be struggling buying into the next one anyway, because they don't have that luxury of the sort of money being built up early. Okay, they did have, I think, 5 players staying alive in the last round, so that should definitely leave them with a chance to buy back in, but it's not going to be that extra bolster of economy you get when the bomb isn't planted in the pistol. So 6th round on the board for Vexed. I definitely still think they do have a chance in this one, because I'm yet to see much from the CT side, and I think for me, well, at least on this map, I'm very pessimistic when it comes to CT sides. I'm always looking at them going, are they going to show something strong on the CT side? Because I do feel like this is one of the more difficult ones to get down. Once you have it down, you can pull out a ridiculous amount of rounds, but it's just very difficult to actually do.
I'm also hoping that Vex maybe has a bit more of a performance in terms of individual play. Right now, it's really Truth stepping up above and beyond. 15 frags for him and no one else on double digits as of yet. So you'd think he can't do it all, but coming into this gun round, we've got that aggressive A stance. 3 CTs pushed up towards the fountain, but they lose B again. Very curious to me that in the initial gun round, you get Vex going aggressive on B site, and then your counter to it is an aggressive stance on A. I mean, it's netted them the exact same situation, but nice little lineup, good damage dealt. That's nearly enough to justify the retake. But with 3 CTs up, a B site already ticking quickly away, I'd say this is a justified save.
Yeah, make sure that you can get something into the next round. I don't think they'll have a huge amount of money saved over, but obviously they can drop like a UMP or something if they really want to, and even just have a chance with the rifles that they've got. But I can somewhat understand what Ambush were doing there. It's like, oh, they're not just going to run into B like that again. Like that's sort of the logic, I feel. It's like, oh, well, they went that way last time, so let's try and be a little bit more aggressive over towards A. But fact is, I'm a big fan of a rinse and repeat, like the sort of old Virtus Pro style, the plow of just like, we're going to keep doing this until you stop us doing this. And then, even then, we might still try and do it again because we're confident enough in the play that we're making.
Yep. And I think that one of the reasons you fall into that trap is because when we watched Ambush on their T side, there was variation in every gun round. You know, other than going into that slow fountain default, their executes were pretty fresh. They'd have that B split with 3 guys faster connected to short. They had an emphasis on monster multiple times. But this is a good chance for Ambush to talk things over. They've taken a tactical pause.
I like that.
Me too, Tom.
I don't think enough teams take tactical pauses when they're in the lead.
Nope.
I think a lot of the time it comes down to... you can look at one of 2 ways, though. I feel like this is a very conservative sort of pause. You're like, okay, we're in the lead, but let's not throw it away. Whereas I feel like with certain teams, like taking a technical pause when you're in the lead is almost saying like it will get in the heads of some of your own players. Just like, are you considering we're about to lose? Like, do you think that? What do you mean we're in the lead? And then that might get into the back of your heads. I think that's the only reason not to do it. But realistically, if you've got like a decent in-game leader who has like an idea, like maybe pointed something out. Also, in this sort of stance, you could have said, are we buying? Are we not? Do we like drop a FAMAS or two and give this another go, or do we wait and make sure we get the 4 buy? Perfectly fine, and I imagine they have a decent amount of pauses to throw in. That's a nice shot though from RTA. Catches one. Aggressive. That was something that we never really saw on the Vex side of things. That aggressive peak succeeding.
Because, of course, the difference being that Ambush would always stay back in Playground. They wouldn't actually expose themselves to a quick peek from an op. So they go for something different, and they get it. And that's nice, because when you only have 3 players equipped on the CT side, you might as well just throw a bit of a Hail Mary, and that's what that is. RTA, he looks for an opening in the first 15 seconds, and wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. He's got one. Now it's all about holding on to the man advantage. RTA peeks long. Oh, so sick. Truth up close just gets deleted, and now this op is really coming into fruition. Looking for a little bit more. We do have Vex getting closer to the A site, but RTA, he's just gonna hold this line as long as he can. 2 Ts on long, 1 up close on bathrooms, and he's gonna reposition to a safer angle.
Oh, just unscoped. That's gonna hurt, but never mind. Hits the 3rd and the 4th as well. RTA absolutely shutting this down, and even gets the ace to close it out. What a round from the Danish AWPer. He's already done more in 1 round than his opponent did in the whole of the first half.
Yeah, that's an incredible ace. That's the first ace on stream here for Copenhagen Games 2018. This shot was sick. Just absolutely denied. I mean, Truth assumes he's up close and personal. He can overwhelm anybody that goes for such a peek, but nay. RTA completely clotheslines his face off.
You have to remember, a couple of their players are actually saving money in that round. So that wasn't even a full investment. That was just using the save. Then they throw in the boost as well. This is looking like a very well-structured CT side from Ambush. I love when that boost is thrown in. It's so powerful. It's risky, of course, because there's pushes that can come in from the connector from either side. But when it works, and that's a 2-man advantage within the first 30 seconds of the round. Vexed. We now need to see something. We need to see some cojones to bring them back in, find some sort of opener onto this site. Just going to be pushing in dry, hoping that they're not spotted out. Sneaking a little bit, but then HooXi peeks out. All the info gathered. Bomb dropped on the side as well with only a minute left on the clock. And Truth, whoa, he does manage a second.
Let's get him bomb up. Should be able to plant this. Molotov's a little too far. Truth needs to give cover here. It's actually only 1 player over towards Graffiti, a man in heaven, and the flank in through short, which is where we see Quick's reposition towards. This is going to be a very hard duel for Sommer. He's going to open up a wall-bangable door into a fully covered T. He flashes himself on the entry, still gets the headshot as Quicks re-emerges, but there's a response. Truth takes 2, and it is on to Sommer, who's up close and personal real quick. The AK's in hand, but it's just not enough. It is Ambush with another round, and that, my friends, is 14.
Truth just got to be sad. They're like, what more can I do? 1 versus 3. Almost manages to pull it off, but it is Ambush with a 14th round on the board. Bomb going down. The T's are going to risk it. Backs up against the wall, obviously not wanting this to go to a 15th round. That almost seems like the death for any game. But just look at the scoreboard. You got RTA top 21-10. Quins, I think it was 19-7. Like, they're just having a strong performance across the board. And well, Vexed has been a bit of a 1-man army.
And again, I'm now very safe in assuming that this map was chosen by Ambush. I'd be shocked if not. The way they took the tactical pause and then came into the next 2 rounds with a set strategy, superb. But it is not over yet. Fighting for that 15th, looking to secure OT at the very least. It's a refurbished smoke grenade down on Monster. And 5 terrorists outside of this. Now, the one fallback from Ambush is the fact that they have not pushed on A, so they are unsure as to where these Ts are at. But they do have 3 men down here towards the B site, so it's not half bad. HooXi is going to have to come down, and he is instantly overwhelmed. Truth and Vanity coming in with a kill apiece. It's Latino to try to get water up close towards the Ts, hoping for help to arrive.
decent chance now for Vexed, but instantly Summer finds a kill back in towards the site. Tino up close gets another, and well, this has quickly turned into a 2 versus, make that 1, as Vanity is all that's left, and what looked like such a strong position in a 4 versus 3 quickly turns back into the favor of the Danes. The T's, well, Vexed, they've struggled to hold that B site when they're on the terrorist or the CT side.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, they had the bomb plant, they had something to work with. Unfortunately for Vanity too, he kind of just gets lost on the bomb site. He's not able to fall off towards short because we see Latino come in from that position. He can't go into water because that's where there's another man standing. Just painted into the bomb site, and he lost all the supporting terrorists around him. So here we go, folks. It would need to be 8 rounds straight to force OT. RTA tries to get aggressive on the op already. We've seen that work. This time it doesn't. He's flashed off the angle, and they will reposition further back safely in the washrooms. And as opposed to having 5 players stagnant outside B, we've got a nice spread from the terrorists this time around. They will secure a little bit of monster control. They'll keep their eyes on short, and they'll ultimately start exploring upper A.
That's interesting. CT's deciding to fall back towards the site a little bit. Of course, in terms of the buy, this definitely isn't the best we've had to offer. And interestingly, Truth, the man who has been on the board for Vexed, is going to be the one without a rifle. Left with just the CZ. Spotted out Summer. Nets the information for his team, and once again, look who's there. That AWP of RTA has the support from his teammate as well, and it looks like the T's have just gone stagnant. They're stuck further back. Vanity will manage to find out 1, but it is left on to just him. Map over 16-7, a dominating performance from Ambush. And while they didn't line up all of the boards, but we did get some nice little cannons going.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Tom. That's what I want to happen once we do finally get the
Maybe
lines.
they start flaming.
I think that'd be
Someone
a
just
hazard.
like calls out like a match and just like...
Solid stuff here on Overpass. Obviously, our next map will be Train.